You are going to have this major possibility right at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, and this major possibility is about to become the beginning of one of the most beautiful adventures of your entire life. This is the beginning of such a beautiful journey. You have no idea, like, oh my god, like, I'm not surprised whatsoever that you're gonna feel so drawn towards this possibility, because it is a lot to do with something you have been waiting for a while as well. But this in itself is going to surprise you. This is really going to pleasantly surprise you, because I think that you've been waiting for this for a long time, my gorgeous Gemini, and this is why you're gonna feel and you're gonna be so pleasantly surprised. And I'm not saying that you didn't think that this possibility is ever going to happen to you, but I'm just thinking that you've been waiting for it for so long that probably you mentally prepared yourself for this in a little while. So you were kind of expecting it, but you were not expecting it yet, you know. So that's why you are gonna feel and you are going to be so pleasantly surprised. So the bottom line is, my gorgeous Gemini, right at the beginning of this week, you are going to have this surprising major possibility to do something you wanted to do for absolute ages, and you are gonna go for it immediately. This possibility is going to make you feel confident. Immediately this possibility is going to rejuvenate you to the point where you will be able to see things in your life crystal clear, especially when it comes to big massive answer that will come with it. When it comes to which compromise do you need to make right now in order to, like, really kind of you know, in order to do something about this possibility, you know, you will realize immediately that there is some kind of a compromise that you are gonna need to make, my gorgeous Gemini. But then again, when it comes to this compromise, it's pretty much so to do with something that has come to an end in your life a while ago. You knew this, you were aware of this, because now at this stage of your life, whatever this compromise is going to be with, you know, it's to do with something that has been making you feel unhappy lately, and your life has been dragging a little bit because of this, and it's something that has been not only slowing you down, but it's something that has been restricting you from doing what you should have been doing. So this is why you are actually going to have a quite nice reason to celebrate. So, you know, when it comes to this major possibility that you are going to have, there is indeed going to be some kind of a compromise that you are going to need to make, and this compromise is going to be ever so successful for you, my gorgeous Gemini. And when it comes to this compromise, I know that there is going to be a really important conversation you are going to have with somebody very kind of powerful in terms of their own energy. So I hope that this person is not going to intimidate you, so because you must not back down. You know, the more you are honest, you know, with what you have to say when it comes to this negotiation, the more you're actually going to get and gain out of it. And the bottom line is that you must not back down, and this is going to be so successful for you. Oh my goodness. So the bottom line here is, my gorgeous Gemini, that at around the beginning of this week, you are going to have this major possibility to do something you wanted to do for absolute ages, and this major possibility is going to turn into the beginning of what, like, one of the most beautiful adventures of your life, the beginning of a really special journey, the beginning of a really beautiful journey. And I know that there is also, again, something is going to be putting you off within the next couple of days, because this is when you need to remain centered. This is when you need to remain balanced. This is when you need to remain grounded, because you are going to be a little bit indecisive, because I know that for a while, for the next 3 months or so, you're going to need to be doing things you don't want to do. You're going to need to be collaborating with people you don't want to collaborate. You know, maybe you're going to need to be visiting certain places you don't want to visit. You know, I need you to be really strong when it comes to this. And this must not put you off, my gorgeous Gemini, whatsoever. It is so important for you to understand that this is some kind of a challenge, because something so good, it's actually going to come out of it. Do you understand what I mean? Listen, so when it comes to the beginning of this beautiful journey, when it comes to the beginning of this beautiful adventure, you know, over the next couple of days, you will realize that you're gonna have to collaborate with certain people. Maybe you don't want to collaborate, you don't feel comfortable collaborating within the next 3 months, or you're gonna need to be around certain people in general you don't want to be around over the next 3 months, or you're gonna need to do something in general over the next 3 months you don't want to do. And I know that you're going to be like, oh God, no, this is not me. Oh no, I'm getting a little bit paranoid. I'm getting a little bit anxious and things like that. Don't worry, my gorgeous Gemini, because this is actually going to end up being such a pleasant and such a beautiful experience, actually. Okay, so this is actually going to end up being such a pleasant and such a beautiful experience, where you are going to learn so much about yourself. You're going to learn so much about your skills. You're going to learn so much about your life. You're going to learn so much about your spirituality. And you're also going to come out of your comfort zone. Within the next 3 months, you're going to learn more about yourself than you ever did in your entire life. I'm not being funny about it whatsoever. This is a very special time of your life. And that's what I need you to understand. It's time to open your eyes, and it's time to move forward. It's time to identify and establish things that have come to an end in your life. And I'm keep on seeing this. And I know it's not easy sometimes when we are really passionate about certain things, and then, you know, it's coming to terms that we either are not successful with something that we were so passionate about, or we get confused that, you know, like our passion has come to an end. No, nothing to be confused about. We are constantly changing, growing and evolving. What's happening right now, my gorgeous Gemini, you are transcending. You are transcending onto the next level. And this is why I need you to remain strong. Because if we keep on doing the same things, you know, being on the same level, we are not going to attract new energy into our lives. And we keep on moving forward. We are doing the right thing. We are exploring. We are doing new things. We are doing things. We are trying new things. You know, and this life is too short to just be stuck on the same road. I'm not saying that you're stuck on the same road, but all this is going to be such a great awakening experience. And by the end of this week, you will most certainly know exactly what was I talking about and where exactly was I coming from. Because within the next 3 months, you are going to learn more about yourself than you ever did, which means that you are gonna see this world from a completely different perspective. You're going to see things that have been making you feel negative from a completely different perspective. This in itself is going to be an enlightening experience. You're going to come out of your comfort zone. You will literally say goodbye to your old life, hello to your new life, you know, and you will most certainly know, you know, that you are moving forward and what other things you really should, you know, walk away from. So this is why this stage of your life, my gorgeous Gemini, it's going to be ever so important. And also, when it comes to the beginning of this week, you know, there are certain memories that you are going to have. There are certain memories that you are going to have. Something is going to trigger this. I think that you're going to be reading something, you're going to be watching something, maybe you're going to see the certain photo, you're going to see somebody on the photograph or something like that, and this is going to remind you of your childhood. This is going to remind you of your past. I know something is going to trigger this because you're going to feel really deep, and I think it's probably the specific person or the specific situation you're going to be reminded of, and you're going to be thinking about lots of different things from your childhood, and now suddenly you're going to be drawn to this particular person, to this specific person, my gorgeous Gemini, all the way from your past, all the way from your childhood, and you will remember the great time you've had together. You will remember the great things you did together, but especially what is going to be dominating is like you being reminded of something really naughty you used to do with this person, you know, like children or something like that. You were like up to no good or something like that, you know. I think it's somebody from a very long time ago, and you will be reminded of few specific things that you both did, that you just feel like, oh my God, we were so naughty, like, can you believe what we did, you know, type of thing. And then when it comes to that particular person, you will really want to get in touch with that person. You really are going to relive like kind of certain experience, and you are going to. I can see you sending a message to this particular person, and then I can see you talking to this particular person, and I can see also this some kind of success that this person is having in their life. You know, something really successful happened to that person, or that person became really successful. But it's also going to give you such a great lifestyle idea. You're going to have such a brilliant idea when it comes to your lifestyle. And when it comes to, like, there is something, the way this person lives their life, it's very unique, you know, and you're really going to be inspired. And you're going to realize kind of what's missing in your life, and you will realize what you want your life to be, you know, but it's in terms of your lifestyle. But this is going to be really big, and this is going to be like create these beginning stages in your life, my gorgeous Gemini, where you're going to realize very soon that this is the life that you will not be able to live without unless you start making changes right now. And the sooner you start making changes, you know, the sooner you're gonna start this process, because it's to do with something going for a while. But you will also do something even more major. You will start projecting this energy where you start attracting things and situations into your life that are gonna make all this much smoother for you, for example. So this is why this is going to be so important for you, my gorgeous Gemini, to take this very, very seriously, because it's going to improve your life in like so many different ways. And also, when it comes to the middle of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, there is a very unusual flower that you are going to see, or there is a very unusual plant that you are going to see, flower or a plant, something that you've never ever seen before. So there is a very strange plant you're going to see, there is a very unusual flower or a herb, something that you've never seen before. And it's going to be so odd, it's going to be so strange, it's going to be so bizarre. But this flower and herb, this is your sign that you've never seen before. It's going to seem so weird, but this is your sign that you are going to need to like do something immediately in terms of your own spirituality. This is going to be so important. You will realize very soon after that moment in time that you're going to need to do something that you're going to be so worried about. It's going to break your heart to do this, because you're going to need to speak to somebody who's so gentle, somebody who's so emotional, somebody who's so like, oh, gentle, emotional, somebody who is so sensitive, but somebody who is really, somebody's taking an advantage of this person. Somebody's really taking an advantage of this person in so many different ways. And you knew this, you were aware of this. And when you see this unusual plant or flower you've never seen in your entire life, this is going to be your, this is going to be a sign, this is going to be your indication that you need to go and speak to that person immediately and let them know what you know, let them know what you're aware of. But this is going to break your heart, because it's to do with somebody very sensitive, somebody very emotional. But the longer you leave it, the worse it's going to be. You are really going to save this person's life. You are going to save this person's life. And if you don't know who this is, if you don't know who am I talking about, after you see this unusual plant and after you see this unusual flower, this is your major sign for you to understand it. Very soon after that moment in time, you are going to find out somehow that this gorgeous person, that someone is taking an advantage of her or of him, you know. So this is what I need you to remember. I can hear a little bit of noise there. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, you know, you're going to be so happy. Like, you are going to be so ecstatic, to be quite honest with you, because something that has been delayed, like for absolute ages, you are going to have such a great news about. Oh my God, at around the end of this week, this great news you are going to have is going to make you feel so happy, because it's to do with something that has been delayed for absolute ages, and something that you have been waiting for, certain news and certain information. This will mean to you so much, because at this stage of your life you really have become kind of worried, because you have been waiting for certain news, certain message, certain information. This is in itself something that took a while, but this in itself, it's like a green light for you. This is like your green light, because the reason why you're going to feel so happy is now you will be able to start what you were thinking of starting for the last 3 months. And this is so personal, but it's so important. It's about you starting the process of manifestation, my gorgeous Gemini. Starting this process of manifestation. It's something that you discovered like within the last 3 months, like 3 months ago. There is something that you discovered, and you wanted to do this so badly, and now you will be able to do this. But this is like so personal to you, and it's about you starting this process of manifestation, my gorgeous Gemini. But also at the same time, it's like you trying something, you know, for the first time, like exploring something, but you weren't able to do this unless you had this message. And I think that this message is going to be really important and positive when it comes to your money, and when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your financial situation in general, but also when it comes to you, my gorgeous Gemini, understanding that now you can literally give birth to your dreams. This is how you're gonna feel. Now I can give birth to my dreams. Oh my God, this is so exciting indeed. And also, my gorgeous Gemini, try to pay attention to what your body is again trying to tell you. You're either missing out in something when it comes to your food. You know, it's gonna come to you in such an intuitive way. You're gonna have a mind-blowing intuitive message, and you will know in terms of your food, in terms of like your vitamins, in terms of your minerals, in terms of your nutrition, you know, you will realize what's missing. Perhaps this is going to be your intuitive message, like what's missing when it comes to certain vitamins, minerals. It's just going to come to you. It's just going to come to you in your own unique way. But you're also going to realize that there is something that you need to stop doing, that it's not good for you anymore. Maybe you're taking some kind of a sugar still, maybe you're eating sugary sweets, you know, it really depends. It's gonna come to you, and you will know, my gorgeous Gemini, that it's time to stop doing this, because if you carry on, it's gonna start affecting you in a really negative way indeed. So please do pay attention to what your body is trying to tell you, like what's missing in your diet, and what do you need to bring into your diet as well. You're just gonna feel drawn towards certain food. For example, if you feel like, oh, I fancy banana, then that means that you need potassium. If you feel like, oh, I fancy oranges, that means that you lack in vitamin C, for example, because oranges are like really rich in vitamin C. If you fancy eggs, oh, I want boiled eggs, that means that you lack in protein in general. So you see what I mean? If you feel drawn to certain foods, try to like work out which vitamins you are also lacking in, for example. And that's your body's unique way of letting you know. Indeed. So now, my gorgeous Gemini, I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards, and I'm going to see what's going to be a tarot card of the week. I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards, and I'm going to see what's going to be a tarot card of the week. Oh my God, there you go. such an important message is going to change everything. An important message you're going to have before the end of this week is going to change absolutely everything. When it comes to this important message you are going to have, you will know, it's a lot to do with a certain progress, but it's not only about that. As soon as you have this message where you become aware of the certain progress which is going to elevate you and make you feel really good about yourself, at that moment in time, my gorgeous Gemini, yes, you're going to be happy, yes, you're going to be excited, but don't forget that there is something major that you're going to need to do, certain step. There is a certain step that you will need to do. So the reason why you're going to be happy about this progress, the reason why you're going to be happy about this message, it's only because now you will be able to do something really specific. But I can see you thinking, I'll do this next week, I'll do this in 2 weeks' time, I'll do this in 3 months. No, baby, no, you need to act now. It is about the power of number 8. It is about the power of number 8, which exactly energy this is going to unlock. It means that you're unrestricted. It means that you're in the flow. And that's why you need to act now. You need to do something about it immediately.